It's the end of the road, again, for Neighbours as the Aussie soap has officially wrapped filming on its final episodes. The cast and crew have reflected on saying goodbye to Ramsay Street for the second and final time, with the farewell made bittersweet by the double cancellation. Producer Jason Herbison said Neighbours is a special show, and teased plans to continue the series in the future. It's been a privilege to make the recent seasons for our loyal viewers around the world, he added. We have added 460 episodes to our legacy of over 9,000 episodes, something we all feel proud of. Once again, we will be resting the residents of Ramsay Street on a hopeful note, with some tantalizing possibilities for a future chapter. Actors have been getting emotional over filming their very last scenes as residents of Erinsborough, with legends Stephen Dennis and Alan Fletcher leading the ensemble in celebrating the series. I never thought a single show would give me the greatest adventures of my career, spanning 40 years, said Paul Robinson star Dennis. Without Neighbours I would not have met the people, been to the places and lived the experiences of a lifetime. Thank you all. Carl Kennedy actor Fletcher, the longest-serving actor on the show having played the role since 1994, said, Neighbours has been my happy place for over 30 years. I will always treasure the creative freedom and enthusiasm amongst the whole team that has allowed us to produce a brilliant show for so long. Fletcher's on-screen wife Jackie Woodburn, who plays Susan Kennedy, echoed his feelings. It's impossible to measure the gratitude I feel for the gift of 30 years on Neighbours. To do so I would have to calculate the number of extraordinary cast and crew I have been privileged to work with, count the number of laughs I have shared with them, measure the pride I feel for the diverse, dramatic, and sometimes outrageous storytelling we have all been a part of. We are the best version of family. It has been a wild ride into a happy life. Wouldn't change it for quids. Neighbours has been a part of my life for most of it, and I'm grateful that it has been, Jane Harris star Annie Jones said, while Rebecca Elmaloglu weighed in on the craziness of playing Therese Willis. Neighbours is a fine example of commitment. I've had to pinch myself every day. I've loved every minute of it, she said. The friendships, the laughter, the tears and the early mornings and the craziness of playing a character that never tires me. Aaron Brennan star Matt Wilson deemed the show a real beacon of hope for those who work in entertainment, while Magella Davies, who plays Krista Tanaka, deemed the soap an integral part of the industry. Leo Tanaka star Tim Kano said the soap has become his adult family, with the sentiment echoed by Nicolette Stone's Hannah Monson, who praised the connection and growth she experienced while being on the show. There's too many things to miss about this show, but what I'll miss most, more than getting to live out a childhood dream every day and more than even the catering, are the beautiful people I've met along the way, Max Ramsey star Ben Jackson added. Sadie Rodwell star Emerald Chan credited the show for giving her some of her best friends, while Byron Stone's Xavier Molyneux called Neighbours life-changing. It's been such a pleasure to work on Australia's most iconic television show, with the most wonderful cast and crew, said Lloyd Will, who portrays Andrew Rodwell. As for his on-screen wife Candice Leask, who plays Wendy, she opened up on going through 5 different auditions to get the role. It took me 10 years and 5 auditions to land the role of Wendy Rodwell, she said. The 3 years playing Wendy and being on Neighbours has changed my life, not only as an actor but also as a person. The people that I have gotten to know so closely from production to crew to cast have allowed me to see how amazing this industry can be. Cara Varga Murphy star Sarah West called the show a constant, while Remy Varga Murphy star Naomi Rukavina acknowledged the iconic status the show has reached. It's a special thing to be part of a national icon, Rukavina said. Neighbours is nothing like I had imagined. It has been blessing on blessing for me. Fulfilling, stabilizing, and heart-filling. Long live the icon. Neighbours cast bid farewell to Ramsay Street in emotional final episode wrap. In a moment that many hoped would never come, Neighbours has officially wrapped filming on its final episodes, marking the end of the road, once again, for Australia's most iconic soap. The news has struck a bittersweet chord across the globe as cast, crew, and longtime fans face the reality that Ramsay Street will fall silent once more. Following its miraculous revival in 2023 after a brief cancellation, the sun is finally setting on Erinsborough. This time, for good, or so it seems. The emotional weight of this goodbye is heavier than before. For many involved, this is not just the end of a show, it's the closing of a chapter that has spanned decades, changed lives, and launched countless careers. A legacy that spanned generations. With a staggering 9,000+ episodes under its belt, Neighbours has woven itself into the cultural fabric of not only Australia but the UK and beyond. Since it first aired in 1985, the series has chronicled the joys and heartbreaks of life on Ramsay Street, offering viewers daily slices of relatable, and sometimes outrageous, drama. Series producer Jason Herbison reflected on the show's long-standing success with gratitude and pride, confirming that this second closure is final, for now. It's been a privilege to make the recent seasons for our loyal viewers around the world. We've added 460 episodes to our legacy, which now stands proudly above 9,000. We're ending on a hopeful note, with some tantalizing possibilities for the future. This careful wording has sparked speculation among fans. Could this truly be the end, or is another revival possible down the line? Farewell from the icons of Erinsborough. Leading the charge in this emotional farewell are legends Stephen Dennis, Paul Robinson, Alan Fletcher, Carl Kennedy, and Jackie Woodburn, Susan Kennedy, who have been the heart and soul of Neighbours for decades. For Dennis, who has portrayed the complex and endlessly entertaining Paul Robinson across 40 years, the end is nothing short of personal. I never thought a single show would give me the greatest adventures of my career. Without Neighbours, I wouldn't have met the people, traveled to the places, or lived the experiences I have. Thank you all. His words carry the weight of history, a tribute to a life intertwined with a fictional world that feels all too real to so many. Alan Fletcher, who has played Carl Kennedy since 1994, echoed similar sentiments. His deep connection to the show goes far beyond screen time. Neighbours has been my happy place for over 30 years. I will always treasure the creative freedom, enthusiasm, and camaraderie that have allowed us to produce a brilliant show for so long. And Jackie Woodburn, the indomitable Susan Kennedy, described her time on the show as a gift beyond measure. It's impossible to measure the gratitude I feel. I've worked with extraordinary cast and crew, shared laughs, tears, and pride in the storytelling, diverse, dramatic, and sometimes outrageous. We are the best version of family. It's been a wild ride into a happy life. Wouldn't change it for quids. A ripple effect through the entire cast. Their sentiments were echoed by cast members new and old, from 80s era regulars to the fresh faces who breathed new energy into the show during its final seasons. Annie Jones, who reprised her beloved role as Jane Harris, said, "Neighbours has been part of my life for most of it, and I'm grateful that it has been." Rebecca Elmaloglu, who played Terry's Willis, acknowledged the emotional roller coaster that came with the role. "I've had to pinch myself every day. I've loved every minute of it. The friendships, the laughter, the tears, the early mornings, the craziness of playing a character that never tires me." Meanwhile, Matt Wilson, Aaron Brennan, described Neighbours as a real beacon of hope for those who work in entertainment. For Magella Davis, Krista Tanaka, the soap was an integral part of the industry, providing a platform not just for storytelling, but for growth and representation. Tim Kano, Leo Tanaka, shared how Neighbours became more than a job. "This show became my adult family." That sense of familial connection is a recurring theme. For Hannah Monson, Nicolette Stone, the experience was transformative. "What I'll miss most, more than getting to live out a childhood dream every day, even more than the catering, is the beautiful people I've met along the way." Speaks. A farewell from the rising stars. While the longtime veterans held the spotlight, the newer generation of cast members also offered heartfelt farewells that underlined how Neighbours continues to inspire and shape young talent. Emerald Chan, who played Sadie Rodwell, said the series gave her some of her best friends, while Xavier Molyneux, Byron Stone, called the experience life-changing. Lloyd Will, Andrew Rodwell, expressed deep gratitude. "It's been such a pleasure to work on Australia's most iconic television show, with the most wonderful cast and crew." Candice Leask, who portrayed Wendy Rodwell, gave fans an insight into the long journey it took to land her role. "It took me 10 years and 5 auditions to become Wendy Rodwell. These last 3 years have changed my life, both as an actor and as a person." Sarah West, Cara Varga Murphy, called the show a constant, while Naomi Rickovina, Remy Varga Murphy, summed it up beautifully. "It's a special thing to be part of a national icon. Neighbours is nothing like I had imagined. It's been blessing after blessing. Fulfilling, stabilizing, and heart-filling. Long live the icon." Behind the scenes, a production family saying goodbye. For those behind the camera, the emotional weight was just as profound. Many crew members have worked on Neighbours for decades, forming bonds that rival those on screen. From set designers who built Ramsay Street to scriptwriters who crafted stories that touched on everything from love triangles to social justice, the production team poured their hearts into every episode. Producer Jason Herbison hinted that while this chapter is ending, the show's legacy might still evolve in the future. Fans are left with a hopeful ambiguity, a potential that Neighbours could return in a different format or platform when the time is right. Why Neighbours mattered, more than just a soap. Over the years, Neighbours has offered more than just drama and romance. It tackled topics like mental health, LGBTQ+ issues, cancer, domestic abuse, grief, and youth identity with compassion and courage. It brought Australian suburban life to the world stage, made household names of stars like Kylie Minogue, Jason Donovan, and Margot Robbie, and became a source of comfort, escape, and relatability for millions. In its most recent seasons, it continued to evolve, introducing more diverse characters, layered storytelling, and intergenerational relationships that reflected real-world complexity. The show's second cancellation feels like a cultural loss not just for Australia but for global audiences who grew up alongside the Kennedys, the Rebecchis, the Tanakas, and the Rodwells. What's next for the cast? With the series wrapped, the cast now turns toward new horizons. Some are returning to theater, others to film, and some are taking a much-needed break after years of filming at lightning speed. There are whispers of spin-offs, memoirs, and documentaries in the pipeline. Whatever comes next, the spirit of Ramsay Street will live on through its actors, and through the fans who keep watching reruns, sharing clips, and celebrating its legacy online. A closing curtain, but not a goodbye. The final episodes of Neighbours promise to close with heart, humor, and a glimmer of hope. True to its legacy, the show isn't ending in tragedy or finality, but in promise. A promise that family, however it looks, endures. That love, in all its messy and beautiful forms, is worth watching and telling. That even the end of the road can lead to new beginnings. As the credits roll for the last time, again, the spirit of Neighbours continues to echo through living rooms around the world. And for everyone who's ever been a part of Ramsay Street, whether on screen or off, there's one simple truth.